The fairy tale of Argo football looks for its happy ending this weekend of the national championship in Kansas City. After shocking IUP, the Argos look to shoot down Texas A&M-Commerce air raid attack offense. Men's basketball continues its hot start, up to number 16 in the nation and now 9-0. They get back to conference play this weekend. The women are back at it over the weekend, looking to stretch their 4-game win streak with a couple of conference bouts before break. We dive into it all this week on the Coach Shinnick Show. So much to get to this week, so let's get right to it. Welcome into the Coach Shinnick Show. He is Coach Shinnick. I'm Tommy Thrall. Thanks for being with us this week, and Coach, another wild journey, and it just continues. You go up to Indiana, Pennsylvania, take care of business. Everybody was worried about the cold. That didn't matter at all. And, oh, by the way, they're supposed to have a really good defense. That didn't matter. Their offense was supposed to be tough to stop. Not for you guys. Just another day in the office.
Well, I mean, they're a very good football team. I think we saw that, the third quarter, how they challenged us. But extremely proud of just our team handling everything. We've been on the road so much. We go up there. We play in cold weather. We were prepared, Monday and Tuesday, sticking our hands in ice buckets. God did the rest Wednesday and Thursday with 40-degree weather in Pensacola. And then we go up there Friday night, and, we got guys taking their shirts off in 20-degree weather. I'm like, all right, this is going to be fun. And sure enough, the game was unbelievable. I mean, our guys just played as well as I've seen them play. Very exciting.
The way every ounce of adversity that this team faces is embraced by this group, it's just kind of a microcosm of what this team's all about, isn't it?
It really is. I mean, how resilient they are, and to be unfazed by everything that takes place. Again, extremely proud of how they handled it. And then, getting home wasn't the easiest thing in the world either.
Right.
As we were stuck in Pittsburgh for about 7 hours. But our guys handle everything well. I got a great group of coaches that don't panic, don't get frustrated with things. Again, very proud of our team and so excited for this opportunity.
It was such a fun day. Now it's national championship bound, but let's take a look at how you got there. You talked about shirts off. Cold doesn't bother you guys anyway. And then how about Chris Schwartz this week? Unbelievable game. He was virtually unstoppable. Part of a great day, and then you guys were able to get to the quarterback. Lenny Williams goes down, and then Beaudry. What a beautiful ball here to Kevin Grant on the sideline, and that got you in the red zone.
Well, our guys came out. We were able to run the ball extremely well. This is a run-pass option for Mike. Tremendous read for him to get the ball into Chris's hands, and really, he went untouched. I think what you're seeing here defensively, we're going to see an interception. Our secondary was all over it. Dre becomes the benefactor of that throw, getting the interception. And then great to see Austin Williams kicking the way that he's capable of kicking, going 2 for 2 on the day, and that one put us up 10-0.
And it was a record-setting field goal for him as he broke the GSC single-season field goal record with that one. Then you guys knock it out. John Williamson scoops it up. That stopped a pretty good drive there by IUP as well. And then Schwartz again doing his thing.
Yeah, Chris Schwartz right there on 3rd and 1, picking up, I think, about 35 yards. Huge. He's continuing to pound it in there. They're trying to figure out a way to stop him here right before the half. And we just continue to go. And then Mike finds Tate. And just a fantastic read by Tate and a fantastic throw by Mike. Puts us up 17-0 at halftime.
Back-to-back penalties made it 2nd and goal from the IUP 25. Then a 10-yard connection to Antoine Griffin. 15 yards later, look at this ball. One of the best catches of the year.
Oh, it is, and Randy Moss just confirmed it. I mean, KG got on, you got mossed, and everybody's going to be saying Kevin Grant, the way Randy Moss was saying it.
Then Samir Bullock got going a 13-yard run, and then again, Bullock to the end zone for the touchdown, and all of a sudden IUP was getting going a little bit.
Yeah, we knew they had that capability, and we knew that, obviously they were a top 10 rushing team. A great throw and catch right there. I felt like our guys were coming over to the sideline, getting things fixed. This was a huge stop by Dre again. I mean, the guy had a sack. The guy had this big tackle on 3rd down. He had the interception. Fantastic day for him. They kicked the field goal, and now we're within 7. our offense, they knew what they needed to do and how they needed to do it. And this right here just became the catch of the day. Antoine Griffin coming up with a great Mike Beaudry pass. 3rd and 9, we get the first down, and then just continue to march. We fortunate to have a replay there. Tate catches another ball, kick the field goal, now we're up by 10.
And that was pretty much what iced it at that point as well. They had some trouble with snaps, it seemed like, all day. Jonathan Coleman, a big sack there, and then it was time to celebrate. Another huge victory for this program, and another wild day came to a close with, I'm sure, a little icy Gatorade bath at some point in that celebration as well.
They doused me, definitely, and here we are dancing in the locker room right here and having some fun. And our guys know how to celebrate. Our guys know how to enjoy the process. Just tremendously proud of what they've been able to do and how they've been able to just, continue to play great football week after week.
I've asked you about where your coaching influences come from, but the hard-hitting question is, where's your dance influence come from?
Yeah, based on that video, they need to be influenced more. Somebody needs to help with that.
Well, let's talk about the run game. You and I were talking about on the airplane about, how 5 weeks ago you're not in a situation on 3rd down where you can run the ball if it's outside of a yard or 2. Mm-hmm. Now you're able to run the ball on 3rd and 5, and that really just opens up the playbook and makes things harder to defend, doesn't it?
It really does, and I think we give our guys some pretty good options in that and where we need to go and what we need to do. We talked on air a while ago. We rotated the O-line around, moved some pieces around, and that's really benefited us tremendously. I mean, we really have 3 different guys starting in different positions than we had at the beginning of the year, and they're staying on blocks longer. Chris and Anthony are running right now at a very good clip, and what you saw, out of Chris Schwartz is, a running back that's not beat up during the season, a running back that's fresh, and a running back that runs extremely hard.
Well, Chris, I thought the big thing with him was he had really taken some big strides, because we've seen him before just run right into the back of his offensive line. Now he's being a little more patient, waiting for those holes to open up, and they are opening up.
Well, they are opening up, and I think that's part of it. And I think, he's had good vision. Now we're giving him some creases. If there's a little room, he's going to find it. And then he's hard to get down, as we saw. IUP's defense was one of the tops in the country stopping the run. They did a great job all year long until they played us.
I want to talk about Mike Beaudry when we come back as well. Still plenty more to get to. Plus, when we come back, we'll take a look at what's ahead with the high-powered Texas A&M-Commerce passing attack. All that's still to come. This is the Coach Shinnick Show on the UWF Sports Network.
We will never settle for the kiddie pool. We are destined for the vast ocean of opportunities that await us. We were born to make a splash. At the University of West Florida, you can make a discovery, make a difference, make a splash. So take a deep breath and dive in. The University of West Florida. How will you make a splash?
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
Welcome back. The Argo volleyball team went on an epic run to close out their season. It came to a close in the regional finals. Despite the tough ending, head coach Melissa Walter and her team still had plenty to be at peace about this season.
We're so new to each other, and they embraced quickly what we were trying to accomplish and the goals that we set forth as a group.
The program doesn't stop fighting. There's never a point in time where we're not going to be fighting. And that's something UWF volleyball has been about for years. That's when you come into the program, that's tradition. And if you don't know that coming in, you're not coming into our program if you're not a fighter.
The whole journey was really special, and these guys never stopped believing. We were fortunate enough, God willing, to be healthy at the end of the year. Those are things you can't orchestrate. You can try to plan it as much as you want to, but you need a little help, a little bit of luck, and I think we got a lot of that.
The wins are great, but I feel like this program really emphasizes that there's more than just volleyball after this. I believe the coach has been a great role model for all of us and shows us how to be respectable people, like respectable women in general. And I couldn't ask for a better person to have by my side throughout these whole college years, because I've changed so much since I've been with her, and it's always been for the better.
You don't replace seniors. You just don't. They are weathered. They are seasoned. They're fighting for something that's bigger than, underclassmen ever understand until they are a senior.
Walter has a lot of that team returning next season, so we'll see what 2018 has in store. I want to welcome back in head coach Pete Shinnick. And Coach, as we look ahead to Texas A&M-Commerce, I want to go back for a second to last week because there's still more to talk about with that game. And one guy we haven't talked about yet is Mike Beaudry. And I feel like that was one of the most efficient games he's had this season. I feel that way because I've heard you say something along those lines.
Yeah, no, he really played as well as we've seen him. We asked him to throw about 25 times or 28 times. I think he scrambled 5 times, had great completion percentage, and really threw the ball in places where receivers could get it or, away from the defense. He didn't try to force anything. He's seeing things very well. He checked us into some nice plays. Again, the touchdown run was an option, for him to pass, but he saw what coverage they were in, handed the ball off. He checked us out of some passes, into some runs, out of some runs, into some passes. So extremely happy for what he was able to do and just the efficiency that he played with.
You guys came out, ran the ball well, got up 24-0, and then all of a sudden they go on their run. They score 17 unanswered. The rest of us were worried. Were you concerned at all over that stretch?
We had 2 third and shorts that I felt like we misblocked and we miscommunicated on those 2 third downs. So I felt like if we get back in that situation, I think we're going to be okay. We ended up getting a first down, I think, on a 3rd and short, and then we had the 3rd and long where we hit Antoine. So on the sideline, I'm just telling guys we're close. Just keep doing it. What's worked is going to continue to work. And then we have the long drive where, I think we take about 8 minutes and run 12 plays and get 3 points. And at that point in time, looked up at the clock and I was like, all right, they're going to have to do something special, which, they weren't able to, and our defense answered the call one more time.
And that was the perfect drive in that situation. You didn't necessarily need a touchdown. You just needed a long drive that ended in points, and that's what you got. Your defense was excellent. You knew going in that they were going to be a big test. You held them to negative yards. Total offense, really through the first quarter and a half of that game. Was that probably the biggest test that they've had to this point? Was that the best offense that you guys felt you had seen?
We talked last week about, comparing them to different people, and we felt like their run game was similar to West Alabama's. Coach Doolin knew that if we were gap sound, we could take away some things that they were confident in doing. And one of the things playing in the Gulf South Conference is you're going to play great competition week in and week out. And, I know that they had put up great numbers against who they played and well-deserving of what they had. But we just felt like we'd been tested a little bit in some of the things that they were going to do. Anytime you run 4 plays in the first quarter, your defense is doing something right and your offense is doing something right. So we got the 3 and out, and then we got the interception. All those things I think played perfectly for us. I'm continued to, be extremely excited about how our defense is playing.
Well, they're going to be tested again this week as we switch gears and look ahead to the national championship. It's fun to say. You've got Texas A&M-Commerce this week, and their quarterback, Luis Perez, can really sling the rock.
Well, he's as good as there is in the country, throwing the ball. He's got some very talented receivers. They do some nice things. He has thrown the ball up there, top 5 in the country, I think, all year long. Going to be a great test for us. We've had some running teams, we've had some passing teams. Great test for us. Excited to see it play out.
Are they a truly one-dimensional team? I know they throw for over 350 yards a game. So is that about all they do?
No, they're not. They're going to try to run the ball, and in the playoffs, they've ran the ball more and more, and they've put a little more stock in that. I think they really know how to use the passing game to their advantage, but they're not afraid to run either.
That's a conference where teams really make their living offensively. It's kind of like if we're the SEC of Division II, it's almost like that conference is the Big 12 of Division II with as high-powered of offenses as there are in that conference. However, they've held Lone Star opponents to minimal offensive production, so their defense must be pretty good.
Defense playing very well. Every time you turn them on and you watch them and you look and you see something different, they're playing about 25 guys on defense, a lot of different numbers, a lot of people very effective, mix and matching coverages and blitzes and different things that they do. They're in this championship game for a reason. I would say I'd say we're a hot team. They're a hot team. Just how they've played. They didn't win their conference, had to go on the road road for 3 weeks and was able to get it done and answer the call every time. So, when we look at them defensively, we know that we're going to have to be spot on offensively to get it done.
I always ask you what it's like to get ready for another team. So put yourself in Texas A&M-Commerce's shoes right now. When they're looking at you guys, getting ready for you guys, what would it be like on the other side from their perspective?
Well, I think you just got to look at, the guys that we have and the guys that are making plays. And so you can't discredit who we've played. You can't discredit, what we've been able to do. And I think you got to take all of that and say, all right, we always look at how would we match up against them? What would that look like? Going back to the IUP game, we felt like we could get a body on a body in the run game. They continually gave us 6 men in the box. Our O-line and tight end are pretty good at getting a body on a body, and that's where you saw Chris Schwartz run for the yards that he did. I think as they look at us, they're trying to break us down, person by person. We're also a defensive line. We rotate a lot of guys. Our back end's kind of set. And then I think offensive-wise, they're probably looking at our skill and saying, okay, how do we match up and what do we need to do coverage-wise?
Are there some matchups in this game in particular that you really like?
Oh, I think every game that I've gone into, I can answer that question a little better after the first quarter. Because you watch guys on film and it's really, you're sitting there going, okay, I think they do this, I think they do that. Okay, we look at this, we look at that. After the first quarter, I'll have a better answer for you.
Great. I'll ask you after the first quarter then.
There you go.
It's the national championship. A lot of times in big games like this, at the Division I level, when we're watching games, we see teams empty the playbook. Does that still kind of hold true in a national championship setting like this for you?
I think so. I think it does for both sides. They've already run a lot of gadgets. They've done some things. They've faked punts. They've onside kicked. I mean, they do everything. We've been a little more conservative, but we got a few things that I think we can unveil.
Should be fun. Looking forward to it. It's the national championship. Go have some fun and bring back a big trophy.
We're looking forward to it. Thank you.
Thanks so much. The national championship, of course, is going to be on Saturday from Children's Mercy Park in Kansas City. The women's basketball team has won 4 straight. Stephanie Lawrence Yelton is along next to discuss that and more. This is the Coach Shinnick Show on the UWF Sports Network.
We are not here to drift. We were born to move, to change, to jump in, dive deep, make waves, break through. We were born to splash. The University of West Florida is America's best university for making a splash. The University of West Florida. How will you make a splash?
I'll be right back. Hi. You think you're probably sober?
Yeah.
But you're thinking about taking the back roads home, just in case. If you're probably sober, then why would you do that? Good choice.
Probably okay isn't okay. If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
That's a full glass of wine. I'll be chatting you later.
Welcome back, and now it's time to shift our attention to women's basketball. And we welcome in women's head coach, Stephanie Lawrence Yelton. Hi, Coach.
Hello, Tommy.
It's great to have you here.
Yeah, great to be here.
All geared up for the holidays?
Trying to get that last minute shopping done.
Good.
We finally got the Christmas tree up at the house. Now, when the tree comes down, because it's in basketball season, we don't know.
Oh, good.
But it might be April,
Fine,
but at least it's up.
Hopefully it's after March, right?
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
exactly. Well, you've got a couple of big conference games coming up. Before we get into those, let's talk about your game last week against Tuskegee. Had a little adventure on the road, didn't you?
Yeah, first time that I've ever experienced a rain delay in the middle of a basketball game. We had the bad thunderstorms come through on Tuesday night, and their roof started leaking over the gym floor and left a huge puddle, and it suspended the game for at least a 10 to 15 minute rain delay after the first quarter. So it became a challenging game after that.
Wow, retractable roof arena. Who would
Yeah,
have thought?
right. Yeah.
But you guys took care of business. Even with the adversity, you guys were still able to grind out a win.
Yeah, and it's nice getting wins, obviously, in that non-conference schedule. And this was a Tuskegee team. They're getting better and better every game. We just beat them by almost 30 points the week prior. So going to their place, we knew that they were going to be a little bit more fired up, a little bit more pumped up. And I think once that rain delay happened, they thought, well, okay, here's a new start to the game. Yeah, it really got challenging for us.
By the time you guys get back on the floor on Saturday and resume conference play and really get into the heat of the conference schedule now, it'll have been almost 2 weeks since you guys played. How nice is that break at this point?
You know, it's really good academically for our players to give them a chance to just take a deep breath, concentrate on their schoolwork, get final exams under their belt before we play again. But from a basketball standpoint, it gives us a little more flexibility in how we're functioning and how we're doing our practices. So it keeps basketball fresh for our players. It's not the same old, you know, got to get ready for the game. Here's game prepping. Here's our scouting. We're really focused in on individual development right now, breaking down a little bit of skill work for our players, looking at small individual improvement during this time, and then hopefully that's going to help us coming up this weekend.
Do you guys scale back practicing at all at this point, or is it you just change the focus of it?
We scale back a little bit when days that we can, but we also change the focus of it, just because we know when our players are coming in after a full day of studying or taking an exam, sometimes mentally they're not ready for practice. So we have to get them warmed up a little bit better. We have to challenge them in a different way mentally, because really they're drained from being in a testing environment.
This season, last season, we've talked a lot about how strong your defense has been, and that's kind of become this team's identity. However, this year you guys are third in the GSC in scoring. Is that something you expect to be able to sustain throughout the course of the conference?
I think we'll be able to sustain it. I think we've got enough depth on our bench that we've got multiple scorers that we can put on the floor, and we've got players that can score from different advantage points on the court. So for us, it allows us to be more creative offensively as a coaching staff.
Well, this week gets started with West Alabama over the weekend. What do you know about them and Montevallo?
You know, West Alabama plays a very physical game. They've got a couple of good returners to their squad, but their team is growing. They're trying to mature. They've got some junior college transfers that'll be new players on their squad for them. So it's going to be a challenge. I say in the GSC and women's basketball, every game is a challenge, and that's what's nice about our conference is there's no cupcakes. You've got to really play and play well to win games. Montevallo, a new member to our conference, they're struggling a little bit right now, especially with scoring, but again, I think, you know, a little bit of break for them and getting revamped after final exams and coming into conference play, I think they'll be better when they come in on Monday night.
All right, sounds good. Go get a couple of wins, and are you going to wear an ugly Christmas sweater on Monday?
Definitely. Monday night is an ugly Christmas sweater night, so come on out. I hope to see you in one too.
I got one ready to go. I can't wait. All right, thanks so much,
Thanks,
Stephanie.
Tommy.
A lot to get to still with men's basketball when we welcome in Jeff Burkhammer. His team, when you're talking about them, use a lot of fire emojis. They are 9-0. They remain in the top 20 nationally heading into conference play. He's along next.
The world is our ocean, and we are here to make a splash, to dive deep, to create, to develop, to break through. At the University of West Florida, there's no limit to how you can make a splash. Don't just sit on shore, jump in. The University of West Florida. How will you make a splash?
It's not just a donation.
It's a warm blanket.
It's a bottle of clean water.
It's a roof and a bed.
It's knowing someone cares.
It's feeling safe.
It's a today that's better than yesterday.
Every dollar you can spare helps so much more than you can imagine. Please donate now to help people affected by Hurricane Irma. Your support is urgently needed.
Welcome back as we talk men's basketball now with head coach Jeff Burkhammer. Coach, congratulations on a 9-0 start, another big win over Spring Hill, a game that you thought might kind of give you some problems.
Great start for us. We were able to get to 8-0 in non-conference play. That was one of our goals, to try to be undefeated in non-conference play, and played really well the second half of that game, and really the second half of the first half, but struggled a little bit out of the gates. Didn't play as well early. I thought because we've been off for a while and a lot of things going on with classes, but then picked it up and really played well down the stretch.
Well, let's take a look as we Look at the highlights. You guys won the opening tip, then Henry Ventinimi down low got you guys on the board first. Of course, the defense was good as well. Motir Deng just had a great game all the way around.
Motir was terrific, played very, very well, and defensively we held them under 40%, I think, both halves from the floor. So good, really good defense, and some of our defense helped us score offensively.
And a lot of times a good defense will lead to a good offense, but Motir Deng was just feeling it from everywhere, it seemed like.
He's had back-to-back weeks where he's played really very, very well. He's shooting the ball from three-point range. He's making mid-range jumpers. He's rebounding, putting the ball on the floor. Really has played well for us.
I remember a conversation I had with Brian Benator, your assistant. He said he's playing with more confidence this year and we're really starting to see that.
Yeah, no question, more confidence. Feels more comfortable, too, I think, with what we're doing, and has really fit into his role well.
Rashawn Benson did a good job distributing, but you guys were on a little bit of a lull early. He kind of helped shoot you guys out of that, too.
Got a couple great shots from the top of the key and made them, and that really kind of got us going because we were struggling a little bit early in the game. But that's what he does right there. Is he's able to get other guys the ball. I think he had 11 assists in the game and ended up with a double-double, which was terrific for a point guard.
Excellent for him. Some other guys getting going for you as well. It wasn't just the usual suspects.
Shondale Jackson with a nice play there, and then Shalafo gets a block and a run out to Tucker. Here's Jared Henderson, really nice play without charging in transition. So, yeah, we had some guys off the bench come in and really play well for us.
It was good to see, and you got to see some significant minutes from Cameron Cox as well.
Saw minutes for everybody. I think everyone played double-digit minutes in this game. I don't think anybody played more than 24 minutes, so we got a lot of experience for a variety of guys, and some guys that hadn't played quite as much really got a chance to show what they could do.
Motir Deng just continuing to do what he did, and then how about the block on the other end?
Another good defensive play, get us out in transition, and heck of a play by Motir.
It was fun to watch him. He had some fun as well. And, again, another nice move. Let the defender go by, just take the easy layup. And it just seemed like that's kind of how it went for you guys. You weren't happy with the way you guys started that game. Talk about, you said you felt you were a little sluggish because of the time off. It didn't seem like the intensity was there until you called a timeout and really changed things.
Well, we subbed a minute and a half into the game. We subbed 5 guys, and it was something I had talked about in practices about let's come out and let's play. We'll know quickly if we're getting tipped balls, we're not jumping to cutters, those types of things. I'll know we're not mentally ready to play, and we're going to play some other people. And I didn't think we were ready early. It's something we had worked on throughout the week. I was a little bit worried about the game just because time off, getting ranked higher now, still undefeated, had beaten them earlier in the year, and there was some reasons there that maybe we would back off a little bit. So we brought our other guys in, and they gave us a little bit of energy, and really from about the 8 minutes into the game, we played pretty well from there out.
And at this point, there's no room to kind of take your foot off the gas, especially from an intensity standpoint as you get ready for the heart of the GSC schedule.
Well, some of the things we talked about in huddles and timeouts was we're playing this game to prepare for next weekend. So there's some things that we're working on now that's going to help us win Saturday and Monday. And that's why I'm on you so much right now about doing it exactly right, so we can feel the confidence, we know we can do it, and let's make sure we're doing it like we're supposed to all the time.
Your offense has been really good to this point. Something I know when you guys were wrapping up the preseason, you were a little concerned about, but your offenses look great, and you guys are about to get a big boost coming up probably Monday, right?
Yeah, well, I was worried about how well we'd shoot the ball. And the other night, Spring Hill plays us about 38 minutes of zone, and we made 13 threes in the game, shot it as well as we've shot it all year long, and now we get probably our best shooter, Marvin Jones, back available over the weekend. So nice to have him available to us, but good also to see some other guys make shots.
And that's an interesting situation that you guys knew when he came here, right?
We knew that he had to sit one semester. He'd already played, 7 or 8 semesters. He's going to sit one semester while he's here. We knew that. We decided to do it this way so he would play last year, know what we're doing. We'd sit him this semester and have him available for conference play as a senior. So he's known and we've known. And the good thing is we're getting him back. He knows what we're doing, and he'll be ready to go.
And academically, you can't ask for a better guy in the classroom.
Well, he's been great in the classroom. He's been, A's and B's throughout the year and a half he's been here, and he's done really well. Just caught up with him a number of semesters, so we're glad to get him back.
Montevallo, and before that, you've got a big game with West Alabama, who you feel like has maybe one of the best players in the conference.
Well, Eaton's one of the best players. He's had numerous games of 30-plus already. Robinson's one of the best athletes in the league. They've got a good team. They're about 8-2 right now. They're ranked in the region on the last SID poll. So we know this is going to be a tough weekend, a good test for us. They're a very good team. I think they'll come in excited about playing us, and I think our guys will be excited about playing them.
Should be some more fun basketball at the UWF Fieldhouse Saturday and then again on Monday. So hopefully we can pack out the arena.
Well, we know Monday will be a good game too. Montevelo's historically, traditionally been very good. So 2 tough games this weekend, and hopefully we'll have a bunch of people there to watch us play.
All right, sounds good. Hopefully next time we talk, got a couple more wins under the belt.
That'd be great.
All right, thanks so much, and have a great holiday season as well.
You too.
All right, if you're looking for something to do this weekend, look no further than GoArgos.com for your plans. Football is playing in the national title game Saturday evening at 5 o'clock. The kickoff show starts at 4:30 on 97.1 The Ticket. Plus, men's and women's basketball teams are at home, as we talked about, Saturday and Monday at the UWF Fieldhouse. Again, go to GoArgos.com. All the information you need is right there. Have a great holiday break. We'll see you again in 2018.